Okay, I'd like to call this meeting MPC of March 8th, 2021 to order. We are conducting this meeting via conference call in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, Section 199. Please note that this call is being transcribed and will be uploaded to our website and/or social media. To eliminate background noise, please mute your phone. If you submitted a comment request, the chair will call on you at the appropriate time. The chair may also openly ask for comments and concerns from the public relating to a particular topic. At this time, phone lines will be unmuted. If you'd like to speak, please state your name. We ask that only one member of the public speak at this time. Everyone has a right to be present at this meeting. Any attendees that are considered disruptive to this progression of this meeting will be removed at the discretion of the chair as per the Municipal Government Act, Section 198. We thank you for your cooperation and understanding. As this meeting is being done by teleconference and in person, I will we'll call a roll call to see who is here. Member Eichert's here. Member Bigger? Here. Member Armstrong? Present. Member Clausen?
Present.
Member Kester?
Here.
Member Link?
Good morning.
Member Wilson?
Here.
Perfect. Thank you very much. What we'll be doing is we'll be doing a negative vote kind of thing. I'll be asking if anybody's against, and if there is no negative, it'll be considered passed. And if there is, we'll call a roll call vote on it. So first thing is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions?
None from administration.
Seeing none, can I have?
Also move.
Thank you. Member Bigger. You have the unapproved minutes from February 9th, 2021.
I'll move as presented.
Thank you, Member Armstrong. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, we will move on to development permit applications. First one is DP 2021-019. Thank you, Suzanne.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Hayes, Development Officer with Wheatland County. The application before us is for a shed and the variance for an existing private greenhouse. So if we go to page 13 of the addenda package, we will see the location plan. It is located 7.2 kilometers east of Nightingale, and it's east of Highway 21. On the same page, we have our circulation map. We circulated to landowners within 1 mile. We received no responses. We do have a response from internal staff from our Deputy Regional Fire Chief, who stated that since the greenhouse doesn't have power or gas going to it, although it's close to the primary dwelling, there are no concerns as the fire hazard is minimal. We circulated to the WID and they had no concerns. On page 14, we can see the site plan. We can see just the shed that doesn't require any variance, but it's just going to be included on this DP. So they applied for a certificate of compliance in September of 2020, and the existing shed did not have a development permit. The greenhouse did not meet the required setback between buildings. The shed meets the setbacks, but the greenhouse is located 0.11 meters at the closest point from the dwelling, and the required setback is 1.52 meters. So the site plan, as you can see on pages 14 and 15, showing some aerial photos of the site, of the shed and the greenhouse. And although the proposal does not meet the prescribed setbacks in the Ag District, it does meet the criteria listed in the LUB regarding variances, as it should not have a negative impact on surrounding landowners. No concerns were raised from the circulation to surrounding landowners, and no concerns were raised from the Deputy Fire Chief. Page 16, we can see some photos of the greenhouse in relation to the dwelling. In conclusion, on page 9 of the agenda package, staff are recommending that Municipal Planning Commission approve DP 2021-19 for a shed and a private greenhouse with a variance subject to the conditions as noted. And on page 11, we have the standard 3 options for MPC to consider. That concludes my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Suzanne. MPC's wishes.
I'll move the recommended staff's recommendation.
Thank
that we
you,
approve
Len.
it.
Discussion?
Just curious, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, nothing, not opposed to it. I'm just wondering why they need a permit for it. Doesn't look like it's big enough.
They didn't need a permit for the greenhouse per se, but they needed a permit for the variance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, I will deem it passed. We'll move on to DP 2021-021. So
this application is for an accessory dwelling. If we go to the location plan found on page 22 of the package, we'll see that it's 1 mile west of Strathmore and 3/4 of a mile north of Highway 1 on Range Road 255. And on the same page, we have the circulation map. We circulated to landowners within 1 mile. We did not receive any responses. Internal staff had no concerns, and to agencies, we did not perform any circulation. On pages 23 and 24, we have the site plan, and it's the existing 2,800 square foot dwelling is to be the primary residence on the 39-acre ag general parcel, and the dwelling accessory will be a 1,680 square foot new single detached dwelling. So if we go down to page 24, we can see an illustration of the proposed dwelling accessory, and on page 25, the primary dwelling existing on the parcel. The proposed application is a discretionary use listed within the Ag General District. No variances have been requested. It meets the MDP objectives to allow residents a variety of housing choices. The dwelling accessory fits within the context of the area, which is primarily agricultural and residential, and no concerns were raised from the circulation to surrounding landowners. On page 17 of the agenda package, you will see staff's recommendation that MPC approve 2021-021 for a dwelling accessory subject to the listed conditions. And the standard 3 response options are found on page 20 for MPC to consider. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. MPC's wishes?
I'll move the recommendation.
Discussion. Hearing no discussion, I'll call the vote. Is anybody opposed? Hearing no opposition, it is passed. We will now move on to DP 2021-023.
This application is for a mechanical repair shop. If we go to the location plan on page 30, we will see that the location is 2.5 miles north of Carsland on Range Road 260. We circulated. The circulation map is on the same page, page 30. Circulated to landowners within 1 mile. We didn't receive any responses. Internal staff, the Deputy Regional Fire Chief, said they will need to be sure the building meets fire code for that occupancy and will require a fire inspection. That comment is not included in the report. However, it was provided, and so I did add a condition that a fire inspection be completed. Agencies, we did not circulate to agencies. If we go to the site plan on page 31 and 32, we will see the location within this existing industrial parcel. So the proposal is a fully licensed automotive and heavy-duty mechanic shop within an existing building on an established multi-use 15-acre industrial parcel. The business proposes to offer maintenance and repairs on automotive, heavy-duty, off-road, and ag equipment, as well as commercial vehicle inspections. So this site plan photo that they provided, which is on page 31, was taken when the previous business was operating on site. So you can see a lot of the equipment that's on site from the previous business. If we go down to page 33, that's a more recent photo. There are some businesses operating on site now. You can see that there are several mature trees offering screening. Page 34 shows the view from Range Road 260. The proposal meets the objectives of the MDP, promoting intensification of existing industrial and commercial parks, and is a discretionary use in the land use bylaw. There are no concerns from adjacent landowners. The cumulative traffic from the site does not pose a concern, as Range Road 260 is able to accommodate it, and a condition has been added for a fire inspection. The conclusion is staff are recommending on page 26 that MPC approve DP 2021-023 for a mechanical repair shop subject to the conditions as noted. And the response options for MPC are found on page 28, the standard 3 responses. That concludes my presentation. Let me know if you have questions.
Thank you. MPC's wishes.
I'll move that MPC accept or approve the recommendations as proposed for DP 2021-023.
Thank you, Member Bigger. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, I will call the vote. Is anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, that is passed. We will move on to DP 2021-025.
We go to this is for a dwelling accessory, and the location plan is on page 40 of the agenda package. We can see that it's 1.5 miles east of Strathmore, 1 mile north of Highway 1 on Range Road 245. We circulated, the circulation map is on the same page, page 40. We circulated to landowners within 1 mile. We didn't receive any responses. Internal staff had no concerns, and we didn't circulate to any agencies. On pages 41 and 42, we can see the site plans and aerial photos. The existing 3,270 square foot dwelling, which includes the attached garage, will become the primary residence on the 72-acre parcel. The proposed dwelling accessory, including the attached garage, will be a new 2,186 square foot modular dwelling. So it meets all of the setbacks. No variances have been requested. If we go to page 43, we can see photos of the proposed dwelling and the primary residence existing on the parcel. The proposed application is a discretionary use within the Ag General District. No variances have been requested. It meets the MDP objectives to allow residents a variety of housing choices. The dwelling accessory fits with the context of the area, and no concerns were raised from the circulation to surrounding landowners. On page 35, you'll find staff's recommendation that MPC approve DP 2021-025 for a dwelling accessory subject to the recommended conditions. And the standard 3 response options are found on page 38. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. MPC's wishes.
I'll move the recommendation from administration that MPC approve DP 2021-025 for a dwelling accessory subject to the conditions in the package.
Thank you, Member Link. Discussion? Hearing no discussion, I will call the vote. Anyone opposed? Seeing no opposition, deemed passed. That takes care of the development permits. We will now go on to subdivision application, SD 2021-001.
Good morning, MPC members. This is Graham Allison, Planner 1 with Wheatland County, presenting an application for SD 2021-001 for the subdivision and boundary adjustment of two parcels, one measuring 28.75 acres and the other measuring 29.06 acres, coming from two 80-acre parent parcels, described as Southeast 12, 24, 26, west of the 4th Meridian. The subject parcel is located south of the intersection between Range Road 260 and Highway 1 and approximately 5 kilometers west of Strathmore. Staff circulated the application to external agents as well as to internal departments and adjacent landowners within a 1-mile radius of the subject land. No objections have been received for the application. Tentative plan, found on page 50 of your agenda package, shows that the first proposed parcel would contain 28.75 acres, and the second would contain 29.06 acres. Since the subdivision is affecting two existing parcels, a boundary adjustment is also being proposed, which would subdivide land from the southern parcel being created to be consolidated with the new northern parcel, so that the two proposed parcels can both be accessed from Township Road 241A. There's currently a water course that is the result of runoff from an existing dam that runs north to south through the western side of the existing two 80-acre parcels. This prevents the owner of both parcels from legally accessing the cultivated land on the western side of the property. The applicant is requesting a subdivision and boundary adjustments of the proposed parcels on the western portion of the subject lands will have direct access from Township Road 241A. The subject lands are zoned agricultural general district, and both existing parcels contain existing dwellings and farm buildings. These are serviced by private wells and private septic disposal systems. The remainder parcels can be accessed from Range Road 260. The proposed parcels are not serviced, and there are no plans for development on them at this time. The proposal generally aligns with the goals of the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan, the Regional Growth Management Strategy, the Municipal Development Plan, and the West Highway 1 Area Structure Plan, as well as the Land Use Bylaw. Though these plans discourage the agricultural fragmentation, a permanent body of water fragments the southeast quarter section of 12, 24, 26 west of the 4th, which was formed due to the construction of a dam on an existing drainage course prior to 1950. These documents also contain policies that encourage the diversification of agricultural operations and explain that smaller parcels can help facilitate these endeavors. The proposed subdivision is along the eastern boundary of the West Highway 1 Area Structure Plan. This proposal aligns with the policies and objectives within this document. The existing uses prior to the West Highway 1 Area Structure Plan are being approved and are still valid. Agricultural uses are permitted to continue until such a time as an industrial development is proposed. Administration is recommending that Municipal Planning Commission approve SD 2021-001, subject to the conditions noted in the planning report. That concludes this presentation, and I'm available for any questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Graham. MPC's wishes.
I'll move that MPC approve subdivision application SD 2021-001, subject to the conditions.
Discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call the vote. Is anyone opposed to this subdivision? Hearing no opposition, I deem the subdivision passed. I believe that covers this session. There will be a short meeting afterwards, so stay on the line for Glenn, stay on the line. That's what I'm trying to say. So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Not bad people.